Hi. So I had a costume change. I have two outfits that I felt worked, and these two women. Do you know who I am? I hope this makes sense. It's kind of hard. This one is a little tricky because I don't. Again, all these things are aside from the accessory. I already have these, so maybe this might make more sense if I stood up. Anyway, so Pocahontas, and I'm actually more thinking about the Disney version, which is one of my favorite Disney characters. So especially the Colors of the Wind. I feel like that's such a beautiful song, and I've been constantly listening to it. And I feel like that's the indigenous population, which, of course, right? Like that community have kind of gotten the brunt of civilization or modern world, if you will. I feel like there were a lot of things that they kind of lost, you know? And yet at the same time, we can't deny the influences that they've had in the modern civilization. And also the fact that we are kind of connected, you know? So in a way, they are our ancestors. The indigenous population, I think about the Philippines, we call them the Ita, right? And in the US, the Native Americans. Here in Mexico, I believe they have a lot of different ones. And those culture, those population, is in a lot of way our ancestors, all of our ancestors. But I want to honor them. I want to acknowledge them. That's why I wanted Pocahontas. I feel like, aside from the song, which is beautiful, I feel like the indigenous population kind of symbolizes the old days, the old ways, the traditional, more traditional, and not traditional in a sense of we know now, but traditional in a sense of going back to our roots, going back to the earth, going back to the fact that we are one. Whether you celebrate certain things, whether you believe in certain things, there's a quote in The Colors of the Wind that says, "You think the only people who are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you learn things you never knew. And then, have you ever heard a wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or ask?" So there's a lot of influences there of the earth, of nature. And even then, the heron and the otter are my brothers. I'm probably not know the exact lyrics. The heron and the other are my friends, and we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. And so it says, "Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what they're worth." So I love that. I love the message. And there's that one last line that I keep trying to get to it. What is it? "You can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind." So I felt like right now I kind of really feel that symbolism. I feel like the indigenous population, whether we acknowledge them, we should acknowledge them very, very much. And a lot of times they are kind of erased in history. A lot of times in our modern world, it's so easy to forget where we've come from, where we came from, and the people that brought us here, the people that brought us forward, whether we're connected to them by blood or not. You know, like we talk a lot about social changes. And as much as there's a lot of work to be done, there was a lot of work that was done to push us forward. And I want to take the time right now to kind of acknowledge that community, those people who pushed us to where we are right now. And to our ancestors, my personal ancestor, and just as a society, our ancestors, you know? I feel like those communities, those population really kind of knew what it was all about. And in a lot of ways, excuse me, we're kind of going back to that, you know, like the earth, the oneness, that everything has life, everything has the breath of life, regardless of the political climate, religion, social issues. I feel like at the core of our being, you know, we are, the spirit in us is the same, whether, and even in a lot of ways, because of the spirit of love, if you will, the spirit of goodness, if you will. Like, we are connected to the past. We are connected in a lot of ways. We will be connected to the future and the present right here. So yeah, so that's what this is all about. So the first costume was Frida Kahlo, because I'm in Mexico, and women, and that, you know, she was considered an eccentric in a lot of ways, and later on was kind of, modern times really made her an icon, you know. So I felt like she symbolizes a lot of the modern person. I think she's kind of associated with, what was the word? And I loved it actually. It's like magical realism. Am I saying that right? Magical realism. So there's like, it's the real, but there are factors of magic in it. There are factors of surrealism in it. Because that's what the world is, right? Regardless. And to me, that's what Halloween is about. We're so always thinking about our day-to-day life, our hustle, and then there's this one day a year where if you celebrate as Halloween, you can kind of be whimsical, where you can detach yourself from this world right here and say, no, I'm going to be someone else, or I'm going to dress up as someone else, you know. Or if you celebrate it as the Day of the Dead, as acknowledging your loved ones, the past, the deceased, relatives, family, friends, then it's almost also disconnecting from here and saying, okay, there's a life beyond this. There's life in the, you know what I mean? So anyway, so yeah. So with all that, I want to wrap it together. And I did say I am going to open this tequila. This is, oof, hopefully I can open it. Okay, I'm just going to take a sip. I wish you guys are here with me to share this toast, because this is a lot. All right, I opened it. So I am going to take a couple sips from the bottle. I don't really have a shot glass, so why not? So the celebration, that's my first toast. To remembrance, to things that are in the past, to things that are in the present, to things that are in the future, to today. Damn, I'm just taking sips. It's good though, it warms me up. Spirit for the spirits. To our ancestors, to the indigenous population, to the people who's moved us forward, who's brought us, pushed the needle forward. Is that how they say? I'm confusing my metaphors. But to them, to the people whose shoulders we're standing on today, to that us in the past. Strong. To the personal loved ones you have that you're thinking about in this holiday that has passed. I have a lot of people I'm thinking about my grandparents, grandmother in particular. She raised me. And yeah, I'm thinking about my uncle. I'm thinking about other family members. There were twins that passed, my cousins. I didn't meet them. I'm thinking about some friends, family friends. I'm thinking about classmates. I'm thinking about friends. And those were a lot of people. Thinking about friends and family. Family that are friends, family that are friends, friends that are family. I'm thinking about them today. I'm celebrating them today. And yeah, I want to toast them for the love that they planted in me, the love that they planted in the world, the love that they planted in this earth, which will never ever go away. So toast to that. Oof. good. I'm feeling warm now. And toast to you, toast to me, toast to us in the present. That the present it's sometimes hard to celebrate the present. But that's why I like events. That's why I like to take time like this. Nick loves this idea of ceremonies. He's been talking to me about this a lot lately. And in a lot of ways, this is a ceremony. And it's not like you can acknowledge all these people or all these events every single day. You can, and that's the idea, right? But as human beings, it's so easy to forget that. So easy to get caught up in everything else. So I love the fact that we can take time to remember, to acknowledge, to get grounded in the present and maybe in the past, and get grounded in whatever it is that you're feeling is the now. So toast to that. Wow. And I just thought about COVID. So I'm sure we're all tired of it. We're all hoping it will go away. And to a lot of people who's really felt this deeper because they've lost someone to it, or maybe that may not be a person, that may be your job, that may be a community, that may be your hobbies, whatever it is that you've lost to it. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that. Maybe if you need to grieve it, mourn it, acknowledge it, wherever place it is you're in right now, I want to toast to that. And also I want to toast to the fact that I do want to acknowledge that in a lot of ways, this incident has brought some really interesting things. It's hard to say good things, but I also can say good things because I've seen a lot of people kind of use it as a time of reflection to connect to people. Like someone said, like they've felt like COVID has helped them kind of wake them up that life is short, that life is important, that what of the things that really matters. So as much as it's such a crazy pandemic, it's such a crazy tragedy, it's such a crazy thing that we're all kind of shocked. No one could have predicted this like this. It has brought about some, if you will, rebirth, reconstruction, reimagining, reassessing of yourself, of ourselves collectively, and of the world that we live in. So I think we should toast to that. Okay, when is this toast gonna end? I'm not gonna finish it. I'm just taking a sip. But yeah, so I toast to you. If I want to encourage you and encourage me too to get grounded, reassess the things that matter, reimagine the things that matter, and always kind of keep a portion of our life, of our hearts, of our spirit towards celebration. There may be a lot of things going on, and sometimes it's so easy. I feel like a lot of our emotions, sorrowful, joyful, all that stuff has a place in this earth, and there is a time for everything. I really believe that. And there's also always a time for celebration. So whenever, especially when things are not really doing well, it's always nice to kind of get grounded and say that, hey, I have something to celebrate. So yeah, I want to celebrate that. So I want to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, if that's here, because I'm here in Mexico. Halloween to some people, All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Harvest Time, a regular day, whatever it is. I want to toast that, and I hope you take the time this weekend to celebrate. Doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's hard for it to be big. It doesn't have to be public. It doesn't have to, maybe just 5 minutes of your day, 5 minutes of my day, to do something that makes you feel like celebrating, or playing, or being creative, or acknowledging the past with a light heart. If that's where you are, maybe it can't be that way yet. But yeah, so thank you for joining me if you're still here. I appreciate it, and toast to our good spirits. Adios, hasta luego.